Boom, good evening. Welcome to the Voss Center. Who is ready for some roller derby? That's right. This evening we got the Lansing B team against Ann Arbor local. We got Lansing in green, we got Ann Arbor in black. And for anybody that needs to know, my name is Most Humble Ever. Who's a beautiful guy sitting to my right?
I would be Biff Mix-a-Lot.
That is my man Biff. I'm very excited to see this match, very excited to see these teams. I've not been to DeVos in a long, long time, and I'm real excited to be back. I'm just having a great day.
Okay, there's still time to get involved in the raffle drawing. Proceeds benefit Sacred Beginnings. Goodbye tickets by the entrance. Drawing will take place at 7 o'clock tonight. It is now 6:01. So you still have an hour before we do the raffle prize draw. Okay, getting ready to start on jam number one. First of the jammer line for Lansing is number 88, Ready, Set, Riot. Jamming against number 612, I believe, for Ann Arbor. That is generic equivalent. Oh, excuse me, that's 702. And I don't see that name on the roster. But jam is underway.
Lead jam in here, and it's a nice little traffic jam up in there, trying to find a little bit of space. And I mean, these blockers are doing a fantastic game. You can see they're really practiced, really well balanced.
So, Pack's making very little forward progress to the pivot line. We are 40 seconds in, still no lead jammer established.
We've got nothing. We're barely around that first corner right here. And I mean, it's a nice, tight defensive match already. I'm real excited for this one.
Both jammers still locked up in the pack. No penalties as yet. All skidders locked at the apex of turns 1 and 2. Still very little movement.
Now this is just evidence of a well-organized, well-choreographed defense right here. These are a couple of teams that know how to communicate. These are a couple of teams that know how to prevent their opponents from really taking the score. Boom, I see a move.
Ready, Set, Riot is lead jammer for Lansing.
Oh, look at that. That was a nice little duck and weave. I mean, the teams are barely around their second turn here, and
Ready, Set, Riot will call the jam.
That first jam, Doggone, went near full time. We're already 2 minutes into the game. We've only got one jam going on.
And Ready, Set, Riot picks up 3 points on that jam. Lansing leads 3-0. Next to jam for Lansing, number 331, Hemlocked. Hemlocked getting some last-minute instructions from her coach. Ann Arbor jammer in the penalty box. This is going to be a Lansing power jam.
And again, they're locking horns. They're barely up around to this first corner. And I think it's going to be a well-fought match all afternoon. I'm very engaged in this. They've got some great just discussion and communication. Watch the way they look at each other. Watch the way the blockers are communicating with each other.
Ann Arbor's jammer is Bo Toxic, but Hemlock finds the magic potion to get out of the pack. It is lead jammer for Lansing. Hemlock, lead jammer with control of the jam, finds a way through, calls the jam, and collects a full 4 points for Lansing and keeps Ann Arbor's jammer off the scoreboard.
Beautifully done, well practiced, right past that pack and calls it, gets what they need, prevents the other team from scoring. That's how you stay ahead on the scoreboard.
To the jammer line now for Ann Arbor is number 444, Sailor Swoon. Jam against number 93, Scrappy Goblin of Lansing. Jam is underway.
You know, already 444 is trying to find that spot, just going back and forth, really investigating where the weaknesses are in the defense. And, oh, this is rough. Everybody's digging in real good.
Got the jammers exploring every inch of the track, and Sailor Swoon breaks free to pick up lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
Just found that tiny opening and taking full advantage. Scrappy Goblin's not far behind.
Sailor Swoon first into the pack and out. That's 4 points for Ann Arbor. Scrappy Goblin also through for 4. Sailor Swoon taking a tumble at the exit of turn 4. Forced to the inside as Scrappy Goblin enters the pack. Sailor Swoon continuing the scoring pass and picks up a track cut penalty. That's going to put Scrappy Goblin on the power jam for Lansing.
And we'd like to thank our penalty box sponsor, D2-D Plumbing and Mechanical. It's sponsored by D2-D. They are your mechanical partner.
I don't know if I explained this yet. This is for our MVP. Okay. This is for
Jammer of the game.
Or most impactful player. It can be a blocker if you decide so.
Okay.
But I've been typically given this to like somebody on a losing team that did really, really good.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Scrappy Goblin enters the pack as penalty expires to Ann Arbor's jammer, Sailor Swoon. And 2 seconds left in the jam. Jam time's out.
So
4 additional points for Ann Arbor. Okay, to the chairman line, it's Sailor Psycho for Ann Arbor against number 95, the Mind Killer of Lansing. And Sailor Psycho picks up a track cut penalty. Lansing is going to have another power jam once the Mind Killer escapes from the pack.
And power jams can be real deadly, real great way to get yourself some points on the scoreboard. But with defenses like this, it's still going to be real rough going. Power jam does not swing the game, and the power jam is not going to swing this game as much as I've seen it in a couple other games.
And the Mind Killer picks up lead status into the pack on a first scoring pass. Penalty to Sailor Psycho has expired. Mind Killer pushing against two Ann Arbor blockers, but that allows Sailor Psycho to get through, completing the initial pass. And Mind Killer sees Sailor Psycho approaching, calls the jam. That's 4 points for Lansing, no points for Ann Arbor. Lansing leads now by a score of 21-8.
We are 8 minutes in. We're on jam number 4. This is going to be a nice tight one all the way through. Now, looking at the jammers tonight, we got, for Lansing, we've got number 88, that's Ready, Set, Riot. And for Ann Arbor, that's number 86, Wilkie Coffins. Wilkie Coffins trying to find some room on the outside and just getting pushed around. Oh, daylight! Daylight! Shove those words back in my mouth. Wilkie Coffins is our lead jammer.
And Ready, Set, Riot escapes from the pack. Wilkie Coffins into the pack. Scoring pass for Ann Arbor. Ready, Set, Riot approaches as the jam is called. 4 points for Ann Arbor, 1 point for Lansing. That narrows the lead to 22-12 in favor of Lansing.
And while we're here, I'd like to give a little thanks to Gymshark. They are one of our sponsors, and we much appreciate what they do for us. Gymshark, go check them out if you have not.
And number 180, Death Valley, jamming for Ann Arbor against Hemlocked of Lansing. Hemlocked out of the pack first and lead jammer for Lansing.
Now that might be the fastest time I've seen a jammer break through this afternoon. Someone might be finding a way to strategize.
Hemlock ducks into the pack, calls the jam. That's 2 more points for Lansing. And they lead now 24-12, 20 minutes remaining in the first period of play. Official review has been requested. Official timeout has been requested. Give us a chance to talk about the Garage Bar and City Built Brewing, sponsors of our pub brawl tomorrow. Also, I thank ACF, Greater Grand Rapids Chefs, the American Culinary Federation. They are the track sponsor for track number 2. Also, I thank 888 and 187, the venerable suppliers of roller derby equipment to everybody. Let's stay home. Oh, we'd rather you stayed here this weekend, okay? You can stay home next weekend. And we thank Green Advisory and Money Concepts. Hey, that skate gear isn't going to pay for itself. Scrappy Goblin, jammer for Lansing. And we're still not sure who number 702 is for Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor's jammer drawn back to the pivot line. Scrappy Goblin still trying to push the blocker sled at the front. Both jammers still locked in the pack. We are 45 seconds into the jam, and we're barely out of turn number 1. Scrappy Goblin emerges with lead jammer status for Lansing.
Spoke too soon, found just that little glimmer of daylight, and they were able to find that little thread and weave it right on through. This might be the furthest along everyone's been on the track all night. We're on turn 3 right now. The whole jam has moved forward and slowly progressing. And breaking free again. We've got Scrappy Goblin making another cycle on through.
And Scrappy Goblin will call the jam. No points for Ann Arbor. Looks like 4 for Lansing.
Can confirm 4 more on there for Lansing. We've got 28-12 going on right now.
Number 702, did you catch that name?
I didn't know. Not yet, anyway. So number 444, Sailor Swoon, jamming for Ann Arbor against number 95, the Mind Killer for Lansing. Sailor Swoon.
Whoa!
First out of the pack and lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
Blasting on through, finding that little chink in the armor right there. Sailor Swoon just found their mark. And that's not to speak ill of the Mind Killer. The Mind Killer has found their way and fighting their way back up through the pack, but still hasn't caught up to Sailor Swoon.
Mind Killer on a scoring pass now for Lansing. Sailor Swoon on a second scoring pass for Ann Arbor. And Sailor Swoon finding 2 blockers to beat, gets sent to the infield. And the Mind Killer is through for 4 points for Lansing. Sailor Swoon out of the pack with 4 points for Ann Arbor. That's 8 on the jam so far.
And the pack is cycled around. They've done a full lap for the first time this evening. Sailor Swoon trying to duck and weave, going back and forth between dexterity and sheer force of will to get through this pack.
Sailor Swoon met by a trio of blockers at the front. Got 3 Ann Arbor skaters holding down the Mind Killer at the rear of the pack. Sailor Swoon bounced into the infield, calls the jam.
Great play right
Sailor
there.
Swoon picks up a track cut at the end of that jam. So 8 points for Ann Arbor, 5 points for Lansing. Excuse me, that's 12 for Ann Arbor. Score stands now at 33-24.
And as a shout out to the jam lines tonight, if you're in a jam with real estate, Violet and her trusted OD Treads team will be there to help at TJ Homes with Keller Williams. They're in the north of Grand Rapids. They're trusted throughout the community.
And that's Ready, Set, Riot with lead jammer status for Lansing. Lansing having the power jam. Penalty incurred by the Ann Arbor jammer at the end of the previous jam. In Ann Arbor's pack, locking down on Ready, Set, Riot. And Ready, Set, Riot with 4 points.
Riot did that on a beautiful shifty move. That was just a nice show of knowing where they are in space and knowing where their opponent is going to be.
And Ready, Set, Riot all the way through the pack while the blockers were distracted by Sailor Swoon. That's 4 more points for Lansing, 8 on the jam. They lead now 41-24. 1 point short of an unsponsored palindrome.
And we're starting up jam number 9 for Ann Arbor. We've got number 69, that is Sailor Psycho, and for Lansing, we've got 331. Represent that is Hemlocked.
So jam is underway, both jammers into the pack. And Sailor Psycho is lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
Hemlocked has found their way. They're breaking free as well.
Sailor Psycho approaching the pack. Lansing trying to speed things up. Sailor Psycho ducks around a couple of blockers. And Sailor Psycho
makes their way
to the pack. And
almost that little camera-on-camera action. Psycho calls it.
Timeout has been called by Ann Arbor.
We'd like to thank Bell's Brewery with Alliance Beverage for sponsoring our timeouts. If you need a break, take a 200 timeout.
Do they have any Oberon left?
I got a little bit of Oberon in my fridge, but I'm not sharing.
Okay, then. All right, well, thank Cool Toyota. Also, I thank the Drip Bar, S1, Pixel, Fratelli's, Sassafras in Granville, Acme Pure Blue, Edward Jones, and at the end of this bout, we'll be giving out an MVP Skater Award from Modern Skate and Surf. It's a gift card. Not sure quite how much it's for, but there is a gift card. And the most impactful player will get some Coochie Family Market Jam. And I really hope this isn't the flavor. It says toe jam. I really hope that's not accurate. But we'll find out. We'll let you find out.
I don't know, with the way the Coochie family does jams, I don't care where they get it from. I always appreciate it. That stuff is incredible.
Scrappy Goblin to the chamber line for Lansing against number 88. That is 86. That's Wilkie Coffins. And Wilkie Coffins splits the pack apart and picks up lead jammer status for Ann Arbor. Wilkie Coffins quickly around into the pack. And Wilkie Coffins picks up a track cut penalty. That's got to put Lansing on the power jam.
And speaking of penalties, let's remind you that D2-D is your mechanical partner for all things plumbing and mechanical. Huge thanks to them for sponsoring this event this evening.
Scrappy Goblin, jammer of record for Lansing. This jam is going 2 full minutes. And Scrappy Goblin on the power jam picks up a quick 4 points for Lansing.
Scrappy Goblin found a beautiful inside seam right there. Just great vision on their wheels.
So Scrappy Goblin into the pack. Penalty to Wilkie Coffins has expired. And Wilkie Coffins riding the toe stops, escapes the pack. That completes our first 4-point scoring pass. Scrappy Goblin's out of the pack as well. That's 4 more for Lansing. Both jammers free to score points now. 3 seconds left in the jam. And the jam will time out. So that is a total of 7 points on the jam for Ann Arbor.
We're getting into the home stretch of the first half, and we can see, everybody kind of wearing into the game. They're getting warmed up. They're not necessarily fatigued yet. The jams are not as long as they were at the beginning, but this is exciting. I mean, the way these skaters are able to just prolong this effort this deep into the game, really impressive.
Death Valley taking the jammer star for Ann Arbor against number 95, the Mind Killer for Lansing. And
whoa!
Death Valley out of the pack and lead jammer.
That was a move. I love it.
Death Valley approaching the pack. Jammer star has been handed off for Lansing to number 503, Cosmic Slams. 4 points for Death Valley. Cosmic Slams into the pack now for Lansing. Death Valley in a second scoring pass. Pack starts to break apart in the back straightaway between turns 2 and 3.
We've got 2 battles of 4-on-1 going on right now. This is just Suck it in, tight match.
And Death Valley stretches the pack out and breaks out for another 4 points for Ann Arbor.
And same thing going back around. Cosmic Slams finds that nice little space and takes full advantage.
Death Valley into the pack. Cosmic Slams in as well, spun into the referee lane.
Great work for Ann Arbor, cycling back a little bit. So when you watch somebody get popped out of bounds and they cycle back a little bit, put them further back on the track, that's some great coaching right there.
And Cosmic Slams is through for 4 points for Lansing. 8-8 on the jam. And Death Valley will call the jam after collecting an additional 2 points. So that's a 10-8 jam in favor of Ann Arbor. They trail now 45-62. Under 9 minutes left in the half.
I'd like to thank our equipment sponsors. Without our equipment sponsors, we can't be here. So Modern Skate Shop and Next Level Skate Shop, thank you. We are here because of you.
All right, it is jamming for Lansing. It's Ready, Set, Riot against number 702 for Ann Arbor.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. I don't want to steal your phone.
So still, skaters gathered around the pivot line. Ready, Set, Riot breaks free and is lead jammer for Lansing. Took 45 seconds to establish lead, but Ready, Set, Riot with lead status. Ann Arbor jammer yet to complete their initial pass.
Whoa, look out. Ann Arbor's got somebody free. Who's that? Number 11, Bo Toxic running around, but the jam's been called. Jam's been called, so we got another set going out. By the way, if you have not received your raffle tickets, we got 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes until the raffle. We got a raffle today, we got a raffle tomorrow, we got a raffle Sunday. But tonight is where you want to be.
So Hemlock taking the jammer star for Lansing against number 444, Sailor Swoon of Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor for back advantage, from which Sailor Swoon takes full advantage. Lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
That was faster than a ray of light. I didn't even see that coming. And Sailor Swoon on the outside again.
No, it's all right.
But look out! Hemlock just broke free.
Sailor Swoon through on a second scoring pass. One blocker to beat does so. An 8-0 jam so far for Ann Arbor. With Hemlock locked in the pack. Hemlock breaks out. That's 4 points for Lansing. Sailor Swoon finds a path through, calls the jam. That's only 4 points for Ann Arbor. That's a 12-4 jam in favor of the team from Ann Arbor. They trail now 70-57.
That last pass for Ann Arbor looked almost craft. You can see the communication. I don't know that was drawn up on the scoreboard, but that was just wonderful communication between the skaters, finding the picks, finding the areas, and getting a couple more points on the board.
Sailor Psycho to jam now against Scrappy Goblin. And Sailor Psycho is lead jammer, but got reabsorbed into the pack. Blockers reforming around the jammers. Scrappy Goblin the furthest forward in the pack at the moment.
We've got everybody spanning between turns 1 and 2. It's a little bit spread out.
And whistles in the pack.
I see some movement. What just happened? Is that Sailor Psycho?
That is Sailor Psycho. And she's collected 4 points for Ann Arbor. A couple of blockers in the penalty box now, so a little more space for the jammers, and that's 4 more points for Sailor Psycho.
Turn that 4 into 8. That was a fantastic move. And Scrappy Goblin is finding a little bit of space as well. Jam 15 comes to a close. And while we've got a quick little stop, I want to take a moment to thank Rydell and Roller Bones for being our in-kind sponsors, as well as Break Room Therapy in Grand Rapids. Next jam coming up, we've got Mind Killer for Lansing up against Ann Arbor's favorite. Where'd 86 go? Is that Wilkie Coffins? I said it right this time. Thank you.
We have an official timeout. It's timeout brought to you by Bill's Brewery with Alliance Beverage. This is a two-hearted timeout. Not sure what the referee, what our officials are talking about. We'd also like to thank Goosehead Insurance and Bruised Boutique. Be sure to pay visits to all of our vendors. The more stuff you buy, the less everybody has to take home. Wilkie Coffins jamming against the Mind Killer. Wilkie Coffins with the most forward progress. Slowly stretching the pack out to its breaking point, and Wilkie Coffins is lead jammer. Mind Killer out and eligible to score points now as well. Pack will reorganize in turn 3. Ann Arbor with a 1 blocker advantage.
Wilkie Coffins with just legs that don't stop, just chugging, 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 and that effort pays off. Wilkie Coffins making another go around. The Mind Killer found a little bit of space, but couldn't take advantage.
In the meantime, Wilkie Coffins finds a way into the pack. Penalty to Lansing's Cosmic Slams has expired, and Wilkie Coffins collects another 4 points for Ann Arbor. And would you look at that, we have a 1-point game. Oh, no, we don't. Cosmic Slams picks up the star pass, collects 3 points for Lansing. And Wilkie Coffins into the pack, calls the jam. 3 more points for Ann Arbor. Any more points for Lansing?
We got a score of 73-72 going on right now. We've got just over a minute left in the first half. We're on jam number 16. Who do we got going up? We've got number 160. Is that Death Valley against 88? That looks like Ready, Set, Riot to me. Oh, Death Valley putting a hurt on. Run around. Death Valley is your lead jammer right now.
Oh, hold on, that's 190. It's on 180 on our roster. Anyway, Ready, Set, Right. The jammer for Lansing breaks out of the pack. And Death Valley with lead and 4 points in hand. Ready, set, riot in hot pursuit. Pack speeding up through the back straightaway between turns 3 and 4. Death Valley takes a big hit from number 65. That is Kobe. Ready, set, riot into the pack. Both jammers locked up for the opposing set of blockers. Death Valley recycled into the infield. Lansing losing a blocker to the penalty box. The DHE plumbing and mechanical penalty box. As the jam times out. That's an 8-6 jam in favor of Ann Arbor. Whoa! And we have a lead change. Ann Arbor 80, Lansing 79. Be sure to patronize all of our concession stands and merch tables. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Quick reminder, if you want a chance to win an MVP pass to RollerCon 2025, Milton will award you one entry for every $10 you donate to our own Mattitudes travel and training for the USA Roller Derby. If you want that opportunity, you got to find Milton.
Okay, we are ready for half number 2 of Game D here on track number 1 at Mitten Kitten Mashup 2024. The winner of this game returns at 1:30 tomorrow to play the Killer Crew from Kalamazoo. The loser of this game, well, they got to get up at 9 a.m. to play the loser of Game E. And I'm not sure who that is at this point.
Well, I think I'll be there to tell you about it because I believe I'm calling that game.
All right, welcome to the Breakfast Club. Nebula, the jammer for Ann Arbor against Ready, Set, Riot. And Ready, Set, Riot is not lead jammer. No pass, no penalty, so pass the skater out of bounds or something of that sort. But Ready, Set, Riot is out and eligible to score points. Nebula is still eligible to be lead jammer. But at the moment, they are locked up with 4 Lansing blockers.
And Ready, Set, Right got shoved out of bounds. A little bit of cycling back right there, but now everybody's back in the jam. Looks like a nice little 4-on-1 we got going on again. Oh! Ready, Set, Right on an inside track. Just finding that space.
As Ann Arbor loses a blocker to the DHE Plumbing and Mechanical penalty box.
They are my mechanical partner. They can be your mechanical partner as well.
And Ready, Set, Riot collects another 4 points while the pack was distracted by Nebula. And Ready, Set, Riot cruising through for another 4 points. That's 12 on the jam so far for Lansing. Ann Arbor back at full strength.
Kobe with another solid hit out there. I tell you what, these blockers are just stable. They're tight. They're communicating with each other. Oh! But Ready, Set, Riot just found that space once again, going back around the track. And that's it for the first jam of the second half.
And with that, we have another lead change. A 16-1 jam for Lansing. They lead now 95-81. I think Lansing decided we really don't want to get up for a 9 o'clock game tomorrow. I could be wrong.
So jam number 2, we've got Sailor Swoon, number 444, against Hemlock, number 331. And quick reminder, we got 10 minutes left before that raffle is called. It's right at the entrance. If you do not have raffle tickets, please get your raffle tickets, and huge thank you to Sacred Beginnings for sponsoring that. Back to the game. Our lead jammer, Sailor Swoon, number 444, represent out there.
Hemlock sets off in hot pursuit, both jammers into the pack at the the back straightaway.
Oh, Sailor Swoon trying to tiptoe, and it didn't quite play to their advantage, but that was a nice move.
Hemlock planted in the field, had to recycle. Sailor Swoon finally breaks out of the pack. That's 4 points for Ann Arbor.
Hemlock takes a shot, gets down, gets right back up again. You ain't never gonna keep him down. We're fighting hard down in turn 4 down here. And Hemlock find a place. Found some space, and Sailor Swoon found the same avenue.
In the meantime, Hemlock picked up 3 points for Lansing. Sailor Swoon will call the jam. That's an 8-3 jam in favor of Ann Arbor. And the score is now 89-98. That, my friends, is an unsponsored palindrome. I'm sure there's a sponsorship opportunity for those so inclined. Anyway, I know it's been a long day, but you all sound a little tired out there. Who's here for Ann Arbor Roller Derby?
That's right. Who's here for Lansing? We love to hear it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming out to DeVos Arena.
Sailor Psycho jamming against Scrappy Goblin of Lansing. And Pack yet to reach the pivot line. Both jammers locked up. Sailor Psycho has to recycle. Scrappy Goblin still in the pack.
And right now everybody's doing the dance together. It's not one big, huge, oh, that big family just broke up. We've got a Scrappy Goblin that broke away. Looks like a lead jammer to me.
Scrappy Goblin bouncing around the rear of the pack.
And Snow Mercy got shoved out of bounds, has to get cycled back. That's not too far.
Ann Arbor having passed the helmet cover to Snow Mercy. Sailor Psycho now to the penalty box for Ann Arbor. And Scrappy Goblin is through for 4 points.
Quite literally on the inside track right there.
Snow Mercy forced to recycle. Blockers locked up the apex at turns 3 and 4. And Scrappy Goblin finds a path around the outside. That's 4 points for Lansing.
And that jam timed out. We got 8 points for Lansing. Ann Arbor didn't find the scoreboard on that go-round, but it does put Lansing up over the century mark. We are 7 minutes into the second half, and we just hit the century mark.
The Mind Killer to jam for Lansing against Wilkie Coffins. Both teams at full strength in the pack. Mind Killer with the most forward progress. Pack moving rather amebically into turn 1. Still no lead jammer. Not for shortage of action, but the Mind Killer is out and lead jammer for Lansing.
I think you said the magic words. The moment we make a comment on not having a lead jammer, it happens. It happened all night this night. Anytime the announcers open their big traps, that's what we do to the game.
That is. It is the announcer's curse. Mind Killer into the pack of a scoring pass. Lansing sets up a tripod around the Ann Arbor jammer. Mind Killer sent to the infield. Slowed down briefly. And the Mind Killer.
Someone break free? We've got two. Someone's breaking them free, and Mind Killer is going to call it.
And that was called before Alan Winch could get the jammer star on and score any points for Ann Arbor.
Lansing picked up 4 right there. Increases their lead by just a little bit. It's 110 to 89 right now. We are a third of the way through our second half. And we've got a team timeout. Quick reminder, our timeout sponsor is Bell's Brewery with Alliance Beverage. If you need a timeout, take a 2-hour timeout.
Also, I thank our equipment sponsors this weekend, Modern Skate Shop and Next Level Skate Shop. Modern Skate Shop is contributing a gift card for the most valuable skater of this game and every game here at Mitten Kittens 2024.
You don't need a gift card to go. You can just go for funsies. It's totally worth it. I strongly encourage checking out Modern Skate Shop and Next Level Skate Shop. Top of the line right there.
Ready, set, riot. to the jammer line for Lansing against number 190, Death Valley of Ann Arbor.
Sam Antics is in the middle of the stage, doing a little bit of antics himself.
And Ready, Set, Riot is lead jammer for Lansing. Pack reorganizing in turn one. Ready, Set, Riot on a scoring pass. And Death Valley is out for Ann Arbor. Pack stopped in turn two. Ready, Set, Riot. Almost through. Calls the jam. No points for Ann Arbor, 3 points for Lansing, and they extend their lead to 113 to 89. Nebula to jam now against Hemlock. Ann Arbor, the 4-on-3 pack advantage to start. Jam is underway. Hemlock recycled through the ref lane.
Nebula's pushing hard, and there's the payoff. Nebula is your lead jammer. Just kept that footwork going.
So blockers reorganizing the exit of turn two. Nebula on a scoring pass. Hemlock also eligible to score points. Nebula will call the jam. That's 4 points for Ann Arbor, no points for Lansing. Timeout has been called by Lansing. And that is a Bell's Brewery with Alliance Beverage 200 timeout.
And quick note, I can see the Two-Hearted tent from here. So if you would like something refreshing and would like to experience Beer City, USA, a number of our sponsors are here this evening to help you out.
Also, I get a shout out to Fredericks, Beatbox, Chobani, Fireball, Pink Whitney, On the Rocks, Old Smokies. These are some of the contributors of some of our in-kind, who've made in-kind donations to this tournament. Also, I'll talk about a little bit about some of our vendors. Hippie Sister LLC, the Crafty Kajit, Derby Kiss, Bright Lotus, Mini-Root Massage and Bodywork. And remember, everybody, the more stuff you buy, the less they have to take home. Scrappy Goblin to jam against Sailor Swoon. Scrappy Goblin planted to the ref lane by number 612, generic equivalent. So Scrappy Goblin drawn behind the jammer line.
And the opposing team taking a play out of the same playbook. Sailor Swoon gets cycled back again by number 9. That looks like Bad Attitude. And Scrappy Goblin as your lead jammer coming back around the course.
Sailor Swoon into the pack as the jam is called. 3 points for Lansing, no points for Ann Arbor. Score stands at Lansing 116, Ann Arbor 93.
That was really good timing to keep Ann Arbor off the scoreboard right there. That was eyes in the back of the head situation. Very nicely done.
So the Mind Killer back to the jammer line against Wilkie Coffins. Lansing a 4-on-3 pack advantage. Excuse me, everybody's at full strength, excuse me. Wilkie Coffins drives the skates past and picks up lead jammer status for Ann Arbor.
Look at that. Wilkie Coffins just did not stop. That's a testament to their effort.
And Wilkie Coffins on a scoring pass, one blocker to beat at the front, driving the skates again, gets through. That's 4 big points for Ann Arbor. And Lansing has passed the jammer star to number 503, Cosmic Slams. Wilkie Coffins through. That's 4 more points for Ann Arbor. Cosmic Slams approaching on a scoring pass. Wilkie Coffins hops and the toe stops around the outside. That's 4 more points for Ann Arbor, or it isn't. Jam is called. Cosmic Slams collects 4 points for Lansing. There's a few more points for Ann Arbor. Still waiting for the final calculations here. It stands 120 to 103 in favor of Lansing.
That was a strong jam. That was an enduring jam. That was a very physical jam. You can see a little bit of fatigue. You can see the game wearing on skaters just a little bit, but there's not a lot of evidence. These guys are holding up just fantastically. It's tooth and nail all the way through this whole match.
So we have an official timeout. Also time for a tiny bit of track maintenance, maybe. And Arbor's coach just got one last bit of advice before the jam start. To number 190, that who will jam against number 88 for Lansing. Ready, set, riot. And Death Valley quickly through lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
True to their name, that was a hot start out of the goal box right there.
Ready, set, riot. Can't quite make a dent in Death Valley. Death Valley quickly through into the pack on a score. She's got to push that big green blocking sled at the front and find a way through. That's 4 points for Ann Arbor roller derby. Death Valley into the pack again. And Death Valley is through. That's another 4 for Ann Arbor. And this is a power jam for Ann Arbor. Lansing was passing the jammer helmet cover, and the recipient of that helmet cover committed a penalty. And thus Ann Arbor is on the power jam, down 9 points. Halfway through this second period of play. Death Valley recycled into the infield. Content to stretch the pack out, find a way through. But Death Valley collects a forearm penalty, and that's going to put Lansing on the power jam. So Ready, Set, Riot is through. Excuse me, passing the jammer shot number 30, that is Voodoo Dolly. The jammer record now for Lansing. Ann Arbor, the full pack to defend the power jam.
And I believe this is Voodoo Dolly's first jam of the evening. They've got some decent vision. They're looking around. They're really making some moves out here.
But Voodoo Dolly able to collect 3 points before the jam expired.
Nice, nice. That's 8 more for Ann Arbor. No, I'm sorry, 7 more for Ann Arbor. My bad.
Score stands 123 to 110, 13:56 left in the game. Nebula back to the jammer line for Ann Arbor.
Yeah, there's a team timeout. Yep.
And Lansing has called a Bell's Brewery with Alliance Beverage 200 timeout.
All right, joining Nebula behind the jam line looks like Hemlock for Lansing. That's 7:02 on 3-3-1. And the action is started again. Everybody's taking their marks, and here we go, here we go, here we go again. Biff, what's my weakness?
And that is jam time.
Okay.
Oh, we have a track cut on number 331. That is Hemlock. Sent to the DHE Plumbing and Mechanical penalty box for a track cut.
Well, that sets up a power jam for Nebula. And we've got a party going on turn 2 right there. And, whoa!
And Nebula is lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
That was a great move to break free of the pack. Everybody's hanging out on the back stretch right now.
Ann Arbor on the power jam. Nebula with 1 blocker to beat and is out. Some more points for Ann Arbor.
Great ducking, weaving, and changing direction right there from Nebula.
Penalty to Hemlock has expired. Nebula on a scoring pass.
And that's it for that jam. Jam number 9 is coming to a close.
That's a 7-point jam in total for Ann Arbor. They trail now only by 2 points. 2 big roller derby points.
This has been some back and forth seesaw action all evening. This really is going to come down to the final stretch.
And once action resumes, we'll have Sailor Swoon jamming against Scrappy Goblin. In the meantime, we have an official timeout.
And this is a great time to remind you that if you missed the raffle this evening, the raffle that was just called 10 minutes ago, there's another one tomorrow. And there's yet another one on Sunday. If you want some raffle tickets, you can pick them up for tomorrow and Sunday. Please, please come on back. Please, please keep on joining us. And one more thing, if you want that MVP pass to RollerCon, you get one award for every $10 you donate towards Mountaitude's travel and training for USA Roller Derby. It's right up front near the entrance.
All right, ready to get back underway. Number 444, Sailor Swoon for Ann Arbor against Scrappy Goblin, number 93 for Lansing. Jam is underway, empty penalty box. Sailor Swoon finds a path to the inside. Lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
That took a lot of bouncing around, finding the spot, making everybody else move, but it really, really paid off.
And while the pack is occupied with Scrappy Goblins, Sailor Swoon approaches on the scoring pass. And
Scrappy Goblin finds a mark. Look at that, tiptoed on the inside. And Sailor Swoon not too far behind.
And that's a 4-0 jam for Ann Arbor. And that's another lead change. Ann Arbor 125, Lansing 123. 11 and a half minutes left in this game. And once again, Mind Killer to jam for Lansing against Wilkie Coffins of Ann Arbor. Wilkie Coffins hops in the toe stops, gets through, lead jammer for Ann Arbor. Mind Killer wedged against the outside track boundary.
Looking around, looking for some blocks, getting some of what they want, but not everything.
Wilkie Coffins drives the skates. 2 blockers to beat at the front for Lansing. Wilkie Coffins knocked down. 1 more blocker to beat. And Wilkie Coffins is through for 4 points. Mind Killer, Jammer Star in hand, escapes the pack. So Wilkie Coffins on a second scoring pass.
Wilkie Coffins calling it. Right in the middle of the pack. Great call right there.
1 more point for Ann Arbor. They extend their lead. I think this is the biggest lead Ann Arbor has had in this game. 130 to 123. 10 minutes left in the game. Death Valley to jam now against Ready, Set, Riot.
And they're off once again. We've got Death Valley chugging along and Ready, Set, Riot trying to find that mark. Ready, Set, Riot just, makes a move, but it doesn't pay off quite yet. Death Valley getting shoved around a little bit. They're not finding it quite as easily as they have in previous jams. They do not give up. We've got a whole lot of people hanging out right around turn number 1, just waiting for something to break free. And as that whole pack is just progressing through the turns, Death Valley, lead jammer right there. Finds some room on turn number 2 and gets to run around that track.
So Ready, Set, Riot. Tried to take advantage of the pack reorganizing, and 1 blocker to beat for Ready, Set, Riot, and she is into the ref lane. Death Valley circulates through for 4 points. Ready, Set, Riot.
That was a fantastic defensive front for Bo Toxic. Setting Ready, Set, Riot back on her back.
And Death Valley picks up a track cut penalty. Ready, Set, Riot is on the power jam.
Everybody's reconvening just in front of turn number 3, and here we go. We got a nice big traffic jam right here. Ready, Set, Riot is letting the blocks take place, shoving around when they can. This whole pack is hitting the apex, running straight into turn number 4. Boom, call. Did that jam go the entire time? I think that jam went the entire time. That was I believe that was a 2-minute jam right there. We've got 6 points up there for Lansing, and 8 points for Lansing, 6 for Ann Arbor. Brings the score to 136 Ann Arbor, 131 for Lansing.
And we have an official timeout. At first glance, that looked like an official review, but it is an official timeout. This timeout brought to you by Bill's Brewery with Alliance Beverage. This is a 200 timeout. Lansing skaters are gathered around the T.J. Holmes, Keller Williams, and Grand Rapids North and Trent Stone Mortgage jam line. If you're in a jam of real estate, Violet and her trusted OD Treadstone team will be able to help.
And a huge thanks to our in-kind sponsors that include Vault of Midnight, the University of Michigan Health West, and the Sundance Bar and Grill in downtown Grand Rapids. We appreciate our sponsors, and we want you to appreciate our sponsors too.
And Lansing requests an official review. This another Bell's Brewery 200 timeout.
And a huge thanks goes out to our skating and non-skating officials, the people that are giving their time to make sure this goes off well, goes off fairly, and gets called accurately. We can't thank them enough. This would not happen without our skating and non-skating official teams. So times like this, we very much appreciate what it takes to do that job.
And a reminder, at the end of this game, we will be handing out Most Valuable Skater Awards. Most Valuable Skater for this game will cut a gift card from Modern Skate and Surf. And the Most Impactful Skater will get some jam from Cucci Family Market. Now, the jar we have up here at the scorer's table says Toe Jam. I really hope it's not that.
I would eat their toe jam. I would not eat my own toe jam.
Fair enough. And the nice thing about this jam, it has ingredients you can pronounce. Including but not limited to fruit blend juice, tangerine juice, mandarin oranges, elderberry concentrate, sugar, pectin, and citric acid.
I know what 4 of those things are. I learned about pectin in school.
And the special timeout continues.
We would also like to thank everybody that's come out for this Mitten Kitten Mashup. I mean, the fans really drive this, really make this happen. The skaters appreciate it, the officiating crew appreciates it, and we as announcers appreciate it as well. So thank you, and give yourself a round of applause. We're going to be here all weekend, and we hope we see you throughout the weekend too. If you happen to see us not up here, take a minute and say hi. We always love having a little bit of interaction as well.
And while we await the outcome of this official review, we also want to thank Violet Spicy Designs, Teal Moon of Grand Rapids, the Pink Possum, TBA, Deosil Designs, Apologies if I butchered that. Paisley Sheep, Patine, Groovy Glam Vintage, Blondie's Trucker Hat Bar, okay, Rubber Cat Candle Company, All About Derby, Donna Farrell, Licensed Massage Technician, Zen Wellness and Nutrition. Also, I think the Grand Rapids Pitbull Alliance, a 501c3 nonprofit. And I'd like to thank the Tattooed Toad for tarot readings, art, tattoo, business information. And we want to thank Mad Hatter Tattoo. Tattoos, get on their schedule. And we're still waiting on the outcome of the official timeout.
I do believe I see the Mitten Kitten mascot on the far side of the arena. Give me a wave, give me a wave. That's the one right there. That's why we're here. I love you too, Mitten Kitten.
And speaking of kittens, tomorrow is Catterday. Keep that in mind when you're getting dressed for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Catterday. And action starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And that will be the case for the loser of this game. Winner of this game gets to sleep in a little bit. They come back at 1:30 to take on the Killer Crew from Kalamazoo Roller Derby.
He's got it.
LRD challenge?
It was an insubordination, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Lansing called the official review, requesting an insubordination penalty on the Ann Arbor Jammer. There was sufficient evidence to confirm that, and so Death Valley will start this jam in the penalty box. And Hemlocked will take the Jammer Star on the Power Jam for Lansing.
And speaking of penalty boxes, let's thank our sponsors, D2-D Plumbing and Mechanical. They are your mechanical partners.
So jam is underway. Ann Arbor with a full set of blockers to defend the Power Jam. Hemlocked is through and lead for Lansing. Pack stopped at the pivot line. Hemlocked on the first scoring pass. Into the pack, takes a tumble. Trying to find a path around.
Hemlock's bouncing in between a couple of blockers and gets bounced around between a couple of blockers. And
in the meantime, Death Valley has served their penalty. And that'll force a call off of the jam. No points for Ann Arbor, 4 points for Lansing. And we have another lead change. Score stands at 135-132. And Lansing has decided they don't want to get up for a 9 o'clock game tomorrow.
Setting up for Jam 14 on the second half, we've got Sailor Swoon against Scrappy Goblin. We got 444 up against 93. On the mark, and here we go.
Sailor Swoon finds a way out and is lead jammer for Ann Arbor.
Scrappy Goblin's arranging a couple of blocks and trying to get a little bit of space in there. Sailor Swoon makes a move on the outside and finds where they need to be.
Sailor Swoon says, I want to hit my snooze button tomorrow morning. Scrappy Goblin in hot pursuit with his helmet cover in hand. Sailor Swoon sent to the ref lane. Scrappy Goblin into the pack.
Sailor Swoon cycled back from about turn 3 all the way back to turn 2, it seems. But that's not going to keep them out.
Packs locked up in the back straightaway. Both jammers trying to navigate a path through. Scrappy Goblin sent to the outside. Sailor Swoon absorbs a mini can opener from number 65. That is Kobe. Jam is called. And that's 4 points for Ann Arbor, 3 points for Lansing. And an 8-3 jam for Ann Arbor. We have another lead change. Ann Arbor 140, Lansing 138. 4 minutes left in the game.
Let's line up for another jam. We've got 702 Nebula up against 95, the Mind Killer. Nebula making a wave to the crowd. We see you out there.
Mind Killer's made the most forward progress, and the Mind Killer is lead jammer. Nebula out of the pack at the same time. And that's going to force a quick call up for the jam by the Mind Killer. A scoreless, a pointless to not scoreless jam, 0-0, 140-138. Hey, 0-0 is a score.
Well, I was going to say scoreless but not pointless. I mean, this late in the game, you're considering every move, and the right move was to call that jam and get reset.
Indeed. Wilkie Coffins to jam against Ready, Set, Riot. Wilkie Coffins drives escape out of the pack. Lead jammer for Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor sets up a tripod around Ready, Set, Riot. Wilkie Coffins finds a way through for 4 points.
Ready, Set, Riot finds a little bit of space and gets a free skate back into the pack.
Both teams have lost a blocker to the DHE mechanical penalty box. Wilkie Coffins calls the jam. No additional points for Ann Arbor, no points for Lansing.
144-38, we've only got a 6-point swing right here, and we are getting into the last couple of minutes of the game. We've got 331 Hemlocks going against, I believe that's 190 Death Valley. Look at that, a lot of movement, but not a lot. Oh, there goes Death Valley. Breaks loose. Death Valley is your lead jammer. Everybody's still kind of at the start-finish line, merging up to turn one. Death Valley makes it a move, making a turn. Toss a couple of points on the board. Everybody cycling around, turn two, and Hemlock finds their way. But Death Valley takes advantage of the movement. Death Valley takes advantage of the movement and skates on by. Hemlock coming right back up in. Everybody's congregated around turn three. Wow!
Death Valley around the outside. Pack was so concerned with Hemlock that Death Valley had a pretty easy trip around the perimeter of the pack. And Death Valley threw again for 4 points.
That change of direction was quite incredible.
Hemlock's finally out of the pack for Lansing. And that's another 4 points for Death Valley. 20 points on the jam for Ann Arbor. Hemlock, up by a tripod at the rear of the pack, had Death Valley into the pack again.
Death Valley taken out, cycled back. Ready to make another go of it.
Hemlock with 4 points for Lansing. Hemlock another scoring pass. As Death Valley calls the jam.
Lansing put up 8 on the scoreboard, but they could not stop Ann Arbor's 22. At this time, we're going to take a moment for the final official review. We will get you the formal final score in just a minute.
So who are you guys picking for the jam and the
MVP. I'm going to say Death Valley for MVP. And I'll say Ready, Set, Ride for the most impactful.
Okay. Why don't you deliver and you announce it after they get final score and that kind of thing?
Okay. Yep. There you go.
Okay, we have a final score. Ann Arbor Local 166. Lansing Roller Derby B Team 149. Let's give it up for Ann Arbor Local. They get to sleep in tomorrow morning. They'll be back at 1 o'clock to take on the Killer Crew from Kalamazoo. And go ahead, Lansing, it's time for your victory lap. For your handshake lap. Go under the London Bridge, why don't you? Momentarily, we'll hand out the Most Valuable Skater Awards for this game. Please be sure to stick around for a second. Okay. And now for our Most Valuable Skater Awards. Most Valuable Skater for this game. Winner of a gift card to Modern Skate and Surf. From Ann Arbor Local, it's number 190, Death Valley. There you go. Give it up for Death Valley and our most impactful skater of the game, winner of a jar of jam from Cucci Family Farm. From Lansing OWB, it's number 88, Ready, Set, Riot. And they will be back tomorrow. Take on the loser of Chemical City versus Green Raggidy at 9 a.m. here on track number 1. So on behalf of my partner, Most Humble Ever, I'm Biff Mix-a-Lot.